1971 Plymouth Roadrunner. GY3 Citron Yellow Curious Yellow. Is it yellow? Is it green? Is it a combination of both? The Curious Yellow on this 1971 Plymouth Roadrunner is, as its name would suggest, a curiosity. What it isn't, however, is boring. As one of the more unique Mopar paint codes, it keeps everyone guessing, while at the same time stimulating their sense of style. Maybe this is such a desirable ride because it's more or less the same color as Mountain Dew. Nobody has been able to figure out what Mountain Dew's flavor is, but it's sweet and packs a jolt. The same can be said of this gorgeous Curious Yellow second-gen Roadrunner with a 446-pack under the hood. 1970 Dodge Charger RT. EK2 Go Mango / Vitamin C. Most people assume all classic orange Mopars are Hemi orange, but that is a much darker shade. The orange on this 1970 Charger is called Go Mango, and is the most common orange for a Mopar. Before anyone starts thinking this is a Dukes of Hazzard replica minus the tacky flag, General Lee's paint was something entirely different. Motorius broke the truth behind the TV star car's actual color. Apparently, Hemi orange looked too brown on film and had to be scrapped because it's a fact that brown cars are not cool. Instead, the show's car builders painted it something called TNT Express, which is clearly not a Mopar factory paint code, so why didn't they just go with Go Mango? It was too bright and shiny, causing camera reflections. 1970 Plymouth Duster. EB5 Bright Blue Fire Metallic. Plymouth's Blue Fire Metallic paint conjures up images of a blue flame shooting out of the back of a rocket car as it annihilates the land speed record. In practice, it looks really sharp on a 1970 Duster, giving it a speedy look to go along with the car's muscular stance. While a 340 isn't what you'd call slow, it's a shame they never put a more powerful engine in the Duster. Well, there was a 360 available, but that didn't make too many more horses. It would have been cool to offer a 440 or 426 Hemi that would have made these relatively light vehicles into track terrors. 1971 Dodge Super Bee. FY1 Top Banana Lemon Twist. In 1971, Dodge moved the Super Bee package from the Coronet to the third-generation Charger. It was called the Super Bee because it was a fast, no-frills B-body muscle car, and they naturally selected a bumblebee for the mascot. Since a bumblebee is yellow and black, the most logical color for a 1971 Super Bee is Top Banana. The Mopar yellow goes perfectly with the black body stripes, hood, decal, and roof to make an awesome approximation of Motor Bee. Normally, those vinyl hardtops are the least cool versions of any Mopar, but in this case, because it's black, it fits the car. The truth is, a 1971 Super Bee would look great in any color, but it was meant to be Top Banana. 1970 Dodge Challenger TA FM3 Panther Pink / Moulin Rouge. Pink is a color more appropriate for Barbie's dream car, which is a Corvette, by the way, but a 1970 Dodge Challenger RT in Panther Pink is anything but a doll's ride. While it's called Panther Pink, presumably named after the Pink Panther, it's more of a fuchsia color, which is bolder and less wimpy. The vibrant, high-impact color gets even more confusing with Moulin Rouge, which is Plymouth's name for it. Moulin Rouge was the French cabaret where the can-can was born, but rouge means red in French, and this car ain't red, or even pink for that matter. Sometimes a name is just a name, and that in no way detracts from how amazing a Challenger looks in Panther Pink. 1971 Dodge Demon GSS EL5 Butterscotch / Bahama Yellow. This 1971 Dodge Demon in Butterscotch looks good enough to eat, but you have to catch it first. As was already mentioned, Mopar never put their top performance engines in Darts or Dusters, but as Motor Trend explained, Dodge radically underrated its 340 as making only 275 horsepower, while the Automotive magazine got 320 horses out of it. Some may argue that Butterscotch is kind of a tan or a light brown, which we've already established is uncool, but this hue has some flavor that makes it pop. It might actually be closer to gold, but combined with the stripes and blackout hood, it's eye-catching and dramatic. The stark contrast makes for an incredibly attractive set of wheels. 1968 Plymouth GTX FJ6 Go Green / Sassy Grass. Green is a weird color in that depending on the hue, it either looks badass or pug ugly. The sassy grass on this 1968 Plymouth GTX definitely falls into the first category as the car looks like a big and mean green machine. This is actually the second coolest Mopar high-impact green. Sublime being the first, but being the second best Mopar anything is still pretty great. Those with a sharp eye for detail may have noticed that this is a 1968 GTX, but that sassy grass wasn't made available until the 1969 model year. That's because, according to the Bring a Trailer auction, it was originally burgundy and repainted sassy grass when it was restored. Disobeying the fender tag on a Mopar restoration is a sin, but it's hard to deny how great this GTX looks. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona, EV2 Hemi Orange/Tour Red. Since the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona is the Hemi champion of Mopar, and orange is the color associated with high-performance Mopar engines, it only makes sense that this iconic muscle car be bathed in Hemi orange. Much like how the 71 Super Bee seems right in Top Banana, the Daytona was meant to be Hemi orange. With these matching numbers, Concours-level restored Daytona sold at auction in 2023 for $825,000, which is a travesty. Comedian David Spade, less than a year earlier, paid around $900,000 for a metallic copper, brown Daytona, and then apparently flipped it for over $1.4 million. It was a rare 426 4-speed, but so is the Hemi Orange Daytona, which has the added advantage of not being butt-ugly brown. 1970 Dodge Coronet RT FJ5 Sublime/Limelight. Sublime means something that is so exceptional and beautiful that it inspires awe. That also applies perfectly to this 1970 Dodge Coronet RT painted in Sublime. If it was a Plymouth Satellite, it would be in the limelight, but because it's a Dodge, it is simply sublime. Not only is this an attention-getting color, but it can also be seen from a mile away. Thanks to the 446-pack under the hood, it could close that mile gap in no time, so it could be admired up close. As the penultimate Mopar paint code, Sublime could rock a Charger, Challenger, or Demon with equal style, but it fits this Coronet in a way that should have made it an exclusive color for the model. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda, FC7 Plum Crazy/Inviolet. Many people, including some hardcore Mopar fanatics, think this 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda is Plum Crazy, but that's the Dodge name for the color, and it's actually Inviolet. Yes, Plum Crazy is more appropriate because this is the single most insane muscle car from the classic era. But color names don't change the fact that it is the best-looking performance ride there ever was. The 70 Cuda is the quickest factory 13-second classic muscle car produced by any of the big three American automakers. Opinions vary, and tastes are subjective, but Mopar FC7, whether it be Plum Crazy or Inviolet, is the most stunning and dramatic color available. Putting those two things together, this Cuda, the most amazing classic muscle car, bearing the most killer Mopar paint coat of all time. Well, there you have it. 10 most killer classic Mopar paint codes. Which of these cars did you find interesting? Comment down below and let's discuss. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button to keep you updated on our future uploads. Until then, I'll catch you on the next one.